Hi everybody, my name is Justin and happy API Heritage Month, and to kick off the festivities we're going to go ahead and ask some of our staff 3 questions to give you a little bit of an inside scoop to the humans of OCAPICA and some of the values that we hold as an organization.
So I worked with OCAPICA through the Asian American Studies class offered at Cal State Fullerton. I got connected with OCAPICA and I really liked the community, and that kept me motivated to continue to be engaged more or less, and more or less that's why I'm still here today.
A little bit of a background, I grew up in a low-income household and I watched my parents move around from 10 places between LA and OC County. I know what it's like to live in very difficult circumstances where we struggle financially. Eventually when I turned 18, I came out to my family and I experienced a period of homelessness and couch surfing because they weren't accepting. And being able to assist youth who have experienced similar struggles definitely feels very fulfilling to me, and I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to give back.
Well, first I started off as a volunteer for OCAPICA, and I realized there in that time that I had the privileges that a lot of people don't necessarily have. And it reminded me of the community that I came from, where a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to succeed. So I believe as someone with the privilege to have the resources available to me, to have the support available to me, I should extend that to people who needed it.
I wanted to be part of an organization that says yes to people. Yes, you may be at a place in your life right now that's filled with struggle or pain, addiction, homelessness, etc. But also, yes, you can work. Yes, you are worthy of employment. Yes, you can learn, and yes, you can heal. And yes, bring your story and let's work with where you are and where you want to be.
I chose to work with OCAPICA because of the company culture. Everyone is so family oriented, and although we're from different backgrounds, everyone is just really welcoming to each other. And we all believe in giving back to the community.
It directly relates to my story. When I came into OCAPICA, I was an undergrad student taking an Asian American Studies class through a service learning experience. That year, I was actually in the middle of moving 5 times. Coming from my personal experience as a first-generation college student and coming into the community and realizing, wow, so many of the people that I got a chance to serve during my service learning experience directly relate to me and my story.
Organization gives people the resources they need to get back on their feet, and the fact that they keep relationships even after working with them, which shows that they genuinely care about working with the people and just helping them become okay still even after working with them.
I choose to work at OCAPICA because I believe in the good impact the work that we do has on our communities. We provide support, encouragement to those that most need it, and I believe that the work will continue and in the future it will impact our future generations.
I chose to start OCAPICA with some other community leaders because we just saw that there weren't a lot of services or resources for underserved Asians and Pacific Islanders, mainly very low-income Asians and Pacific Islanders. And when we first started, we really looked at welfare reform and how that was impacting the community. And we worked as a coalition with many others. Since then, OCAPICA has really expanded and it serves everybody. Anyone who walks through our doors is served, and that's been my ultimate goal, to help everybody, to help any underserved population, anyone in Orange County that needs resources or just needs a little bit of support and access to other opportunities they might not know of.
An issue that I'm very passionate about would be housing in general, finding affordable housing, just in general finding like a good solution to give everybody housing so that, you know, everybody can feel comfortable in the world and feel like they have a place. I think is very important.
I'm very passionate about LGBT rights, gender equality, and housing.
So I really want to help the Hmong community innovate, progress in terms of how our community treats women and how our community treats traditional values versus more progressive values.
I'm passionate about resistance, resisting against systemic injustices. Just a small subject. Father Greg Boyle says it best: stand in awe of what others have to carry rather than in judgment of how they carry it.
I'm very passionate about affordable housing and college affordability.
I'm really passionate about serving underserved communities with low income backgrounds.
I'm into like the fitness, health, and wellness thing, especially like mental health stuff. I feel like it shouldn't be a stigma and people should be more aware about it.
An issue I'm very passionate about is immigration. It hits really dear to home because it not only affects like myself, it affects my friends, it affects my community. So the hope and the work that is being done, I hope one day will lead to like our communities no longer living in fear, for everyone to be able to have the same opportunities in the country that they consider their own.
An issue that I'm very passionate about is really supporting our youth. When I was a youth, I had a lot of challenges, and there were things from mental health, living in an impoverished community, having access to higher education, and just needing those opportunities that I wasn't really exposed to.
Is basically empathy, and I think you can get that through having conversations with people, but having quality conversations. So that means actually listening to each other and not just listening and waiting to respond, but actually listening and being open to what the other person has to say.
Cultivating a growth mindset for all. I feel as though if we can fully unleash someone's full potential and fully get them to educate and progressively grow as an individual and as a society, I feel like we're in the right path to the correct movements.
Would be to have everyone go through a customer service position, because you get to see both the best and the worst sides of people who might not treat you as their equal, but at the same time you can't retaliate in any ways.
My most radical idea for changing the world is a mix of community and connection. So having everyone feel connected to one another and to the issues that are happening, so that we're able to use our positions of responsibility and power to do what's best for the community.
I would definitely implement mental health classes as a required course for K through 12 and also as GEs in higher ed.
And so my idea to change the world is to come in and learn people's stories, allow people to, and give them the space to share their personal narrative. And if we can all come together and hear each other's stories and understand each other's perspectives, then we can keep going as a community collectively rather than going towards our goals separately.
This is kind of like a long shot, but I wish that healthcare was like accessible to everyone, just so that people who are suffering or anything like that, I feel like healthcare should be like one less thing that they should worry about.
I'd like to live in a world where there's like no more prejudice, no more hate, where everybody gets along, everybody has the same opportunities, right? But in order for that to happen, we kind of have to, I guess, in a way, speak to all communities for there to be intersection, right? For there to be more acceptance of each other.
My most radical idea for changing the world really isn't radical. It's actually to get everyone to vote. I think that if we really promote civic engagement and we make it a priority for our country, and that everybody, it's universal voting, everybody votes, then everyone would have a voice, because every vote counts. And I think that if every single citizen had that opportunity to vote, or had that access to be able to vote, and we would see people feeling like they would really have a voice in the way government is run.
So that is all that we have for today. We hope that it was able to give you a little bit of an insight as to what we do here at OCAPICA and who we are. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're going to go ahead and release as much content as possible all across of our social medias. So happy API Heritage Month.